Welcome back, rankers. The big news this week is in Google Webmaster Tools. Previously with Google Webmaster Tools, when we went to top search queries, it would just tell us what the queries were and where you actually ranked for them. What's happening now though is quite exciting if you're a nerd. And that is that Google is now providing impressions data and your click-through data so that you can now work out your click-through rate for organic search. Now, obviously, it's quite easy to do that in AdWords. Google provides the data for us, but it's never been available in organic before. And it's quite amazing to find some of the data that's coming through because not only, and yes, we have a brothel as a client, get over it, but it tells you, what position that particular phrase was in the search results and how many impressions it got when it was in that position and the click-through rate. And we're seeing some interesting things, and I can't show you too much of that person's data, that client's data, but if you're not using Google Webmaster Tools, this is a really good reason to use it because you can really start to make some calculations on what's worth ranking for and what's not worth ranking for based on this data. And also it's going to help you with your description tags. As you know, a description tag is what often Google will show in the search engine results, and that is your opportunity for a sales pitch or encourage the person to click through. And some of you may remember that I've spoken previously about one Senator Stephen Conroy, who's trying to censor the Australian internet. And Stephen-Conroy.com, a satire site, we helped get ranked quite high. Number 2, I think we got it as high as, and with free advice in this show to the owners of the site. And then it disappeared, and a lot of people said to me, Jim, where's Stephen-Conroy.com gone? And I said, I don't know, it's not my site. Anyway, I contacted the owner, and he finally got it back up on air over the weekend. And it's come straight back into the rankings for Stephen Conroy, which is fantastic. So even though you might be having major issues with your site, even if it's off air for a while, if you were already ranking and you get the site back online and you fix the problems that you have, you should come straight back, relatively quickly. The one thing that the owner of this site hasn't done though, if you notice there were pages from the web, if we do Stephen Conroy pages from Australia, the site doesn't appear. And that's because they haven't set up in Google Webmaster Tools under Site Configuration Settings. There you can actually set your geographic target for your audience. Now, if you have a country code like .au, .uk, .nz, then you're automatically going to be set for those countries. But in the case of, say, Stephen-Conroy.com, then it will just get loaded in pages from Australia unless you actually specify a geographic target of Australia, and then it will appear in pages from Australia. Did I just say that right? Let me just say that again in case I didn't say it right. If you don't set your geographic target and you're a .com, you will just appear in pages from the web. Otherwise, set a geographic target if you want to appear in a certain country's results. And it doesn't really matter where you're hosted to use that tool. Finally today, Buzz, Google Buzz. Remember Google Buzz? It had a big buzz when it came out. And apparently 90% of the content on Google Buzz is bots, or it's automated content. It's coming from RSS feeds or other people's Twitter feeds, or just actual bots. And Google does a lot of things right, but they're struggling to get involved in social media. We've had Google Wave, we've had Wiki Search, we've had a Page Wiki, now we've got Google Buzz. And I think the problem that it's got is that everybody's off at Facebook or they're off at Twitter. They're already communicating with their friends online, and another tool added on top of that, it's got to have something extra. You've got to have something else to drag me away from those other things that I'm doing. At the moment, Google Buzz is pretty much integrated into Gmail, but a lot of the contacts I have in my Gmail aren't the same as the contacts I have on Facebook. So I haven't used Google Buzz at all for that reason. And just back on the old government censorship stuff, Google has launched a new tool today, which is quite interesting. It's a government request removal tool. And these are government requests directed at Google and at YouTube. And it's telling you which governments have, and have made requests and how many requests have they made. And disturbingly, in Australia, there's been 155 data requests and 17 removal requests from the Google Index and YouTube, and for 53% of the requests from our governments were actually complied with. Now, it's not clear here whether it's federal government or state governments, but go and have a look at the tool, google.com/government requests. And that is it for today's show. Oh, remember, if you do have questions that you need answered about your website and your ranking and SEO and everything else, head across to the Facebook page. People are just joining it and putting questions up about SEO, and we're just giving them free advice on that particular page. We'll keep doing it and until it becomes too hard, and then we'll stop and rethink. But for the moment, it's not too hard, and a staff member will answer your question if you go and leave it there at that Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and type in Stuart Media into search, and you'll find our fan page. And we'll see you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.